Good morning, third grade. I want to say good morning to Bryce. Good morning, Nia. Hello, hello. Good morning, Jordan. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Zion. Good morning, Nari, Sanaa, Peyton, Autumn, and Carrie. Hope you all have a great day. For today's history, I will basically go over some major points for Thomas Edison. All right, so let's get started on the early childhood of Thomas Edison. Now, he wanted to learn all the answers. He was a man, or he was a boy of many questions. But school was hard for Thomas, especially when he was younger, because he had became very ill to the point that he lost his hearing. Now, at that while, his mother chose to teach him at home. Now, his favorite subject was science, and soon his bedroom was full of science experiments. Now, when Thomas Edison was a child, a man named Samuel Morse developed a system of dots and dashes called the Morse code. The code represented the letters of the alphabet. It could be sent across the telegraph wires to other places. Now, this was the first time people who lived far apart could communicate very quickly. As we move on, we learned that Thomas he became very interested in this Morse code. And when he was 12 years old, he began working for a railroad company in his town of Port Hunt, Michigan. Now the other boys, listen to this. The other boys, they worked with him and spent their free time playing. Well, you think that Thomas Edison, that he played with his free time? No, he did not. He went to the library and decided to read books. Now, when Thomas was 16, he worked for the Western Union Telegraph Company. Now, after the Civil War had ended, Thomas moved to Boston. Then he worked for another telegraph company. In his free time, just like before, he used to read. In his free time now, when he was 16, he decided to work on his own inventions. He was finally able to form his own manufacturing company. So for time for money being saved up and for reading books, he finally was able to develop his own company. He hired a large crew of men and women who helped him. He then moved to New Jersey and built a two-story building that was his laboratory and a home for himself. So that was his home and also his lab at the same time. And also, it was a boarding house, so those who worked for him could live there as well. And it was called Menlo Park. Now let's get to his favorite invention. Thomas Edison was known for many inventions, but one of Thomas's favorite inventions was the phonograph. Now with this machine, he recorded his voice as he read the nursery rhyme. That's the first thing he read. It was Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now this was the first time a voice was recorded. Now Thomas Edison realized he was a man not afraid of hard work. One of his famous sayings was, "There's no substitute for hard work," and also, if we did all the things we were capable of, we would literally astound ourselves. So I say that to you, third grade. You should not be afraid of hard work. And all the things, you have many capabilities. You have a lot of potential. You can do it. You can definitely surprise yourself as well what you can do. Now, most people thought Thomas Edison, he basically invented the light bulb. That was not true. What he did was he improved it. But there was a time, basically, many of the first light bulbs would catch on fire. So basically, Thomas Edison, after almost 2 years, a year and a half, he finally found a way to create the right material for light bulbs so they would last longer without causing any fires. Just imagine you try to cut the light on, next thing you know, 10 minutes later, there's a fire. So Thomas Edison, his inventions definitely did help out, even things that are used today. Now, as we move on, Thomas Edison, he spent a lot of hours in his workshop inventing and thinking to a point in time he forgot to eat. So many times his daughter would bring him food for him to eat. As we move on, more than 10,000 people worked there on Edison's inventions. So Edison now had a lot of people working for him. Now he also experimented with photography. He made the first moving pictures, also known as movies. Now the first movies did not have any sound and could only be viewed by one person at a time. So let's think of the movies we had today, from, for example, the Avenger movies. If it wasn't for Thomas Edison, we probably wouldn't have had the great quality movies we would have. Just imagine seeing an Avenger movie lasting only a few seconds and then having no sound. So basically, technology came a very long way. And here's another invention for Thomas Edison, the battery. This brought him the most success. He tried more than 10,000 experiments before he's satisfied. So he didn't give up. Say, for example, he created a battery, he did a project the first 10 times. Nope, he wanted to keep improving. till it got to the point of he did 10,000 experiments. That's a lot. Now, during his lifetime, Thomas Edison applied for 1,093 patents. Now, here, listen to this. A patent is a special license that protect the invention so others cannot copy it. Say, for example, I come up with an invention for a virtual phone, and then Mr. Tony, he sees my idea, and he tries to steal it for himself. Since I have a patent, he can't do it. If he tries, I can take him to court. So that's how that works. Thomas Edison, he showed the world what a person could accomplish by never giving up. He never gave up, even though he became partly ill. I'm gonna say, even though he became ill and partly deaf, he did not give up. He kept working and working harder. Even after his first experiment was successful, he kept on improving it and improving it and finding ways to make it better.